Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
After splitting with Rhea Ripley, WWE has now paired Damian Priest with another female star. It was recently revealed. The prices were announced on the WrestleMania After Dark site, where Jimmy and Jey Uso meet and greets are already sold out at the time of writing this article. Tiffany Stratton, the Usos, Charlotte Flair, Damian Priest, and others were all available for the experience. While the Usos were paired together as usual, there were some stranger meet and greets scheduled, where two stars not usually associated together were put together. Rey Mysterio was paired with Charlotte Flair when the two stars didn't have much to do with each other. Meanwhile, Liv Morgan was paired with Braun Breaker, a star whom the rest of Judgment Day is actually challenging for the Intercontinental title. What their equation will be for the night remains to be seen. Damian Priest, though, was not paired with Rhea Ripley as fans would have expected, given their history and real-life friendship. They have been split up on screen thanks to being separated for the first ever time in their careers in WWE, with Priest moving to SmackDown while Ripley remains on Raw. Unfortunately, it appears that Priest won't be with her for the duration of the WrestleMania meet and greet either, with him being paired with Tiffany Stratton instead. Damian Priest is heading into WrestleMania to face Drew McIntyre, while Rhea Ripley tries to get a match there. Damian Priest will be wrestling Drew McIntyre in what has become a grudge match between the two stars. Both have felt that they have reason to be upset with the other, but only one will come away with bragging rights. Meanwhile, even Rhea Ripley is attempting to get to WrestleMania. Io Sky beat her for the Women's World Championship, and now she is trying to win it back next week on Raw, while the ultimate challenger for the title at the show, Bianca Belair, will be the guest referee. The tension in the Judgment Day had reached its breaking point, and the unthinkable had finally happened. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were no longer on the same page. What started as a dominant faction ruling WWE had crumbled under the weight of betrayals, ego, and the constant struggle for power. Rhea had chosen to side with Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, leaving Priest to fend for himself. His championship reign was now under constant threat, and without the unity of Judgment Day, it seemed like his time at the top was numbered. However, WWE doesn't wait for anyone to recover. The show must go on, and for Damian Priest, that meant survival. The next episode of Monday Night Raw opened with Priest standing alone in the ring, championship over his shoulder, his expression one of quiet fury. "You all saw what happened," he said, his voice deep and steady despite the betrayal he had suffered. "I stood with those people, fought wars with them, and in the end, I got stabbed in the back." The crowd erupted in mixed reactions. Some cheered for Priest's defiance, while others booed, still seeing him as the villain he had been for so long. "I don't need them," Priest continued. "I never needed them. And from now on, Damian Priest fights for Damian Priest." Before he could say another word, unfamiliar music hit the speakers, and the crowd's energy shifted in confusion and excitement. The Titantron lit up with a name WWE fans had only recently begun hearing rumors about, Valia Knight. A tall, striking woman stepped onto the ramp, her presence alone enough to command attention. She was no stranger to combat sports, having built a reputation as a ruthless, submission-savvy competitor on the independent circuit. But this was her official WWE debut, and she had chosen to walk into the Lion's Den right beside Damian Priest. Knight made her way to the ring, locking eyes with Priest as she grabbed a microphone. "You say you don't need anyone?" she asked, tilting her head. "Maybe not. But every king needs a queen." The crowd popped, and Priest smirked, intrigued. "And you think you're that queen?" Valeria stepped closer, her confidence unwavering. "I don't think, I know." Before Priest could respond, the familiar theme of Finn Balor and the Judgment Day cut through the arena. Finn, Dominic, and JD McDonagh appeared on the stage, shaking their heads in mock disappointment. "Look at you, Priest," Balor sneered. "You go from being in the most dominant faction in WWE to taking in strays? Pathetic." Priest tensed, but Valeria was the one who took a step forward. "Funny," she shot back, "because the way I see it, you're the ones who needed to gang up on one man just to get him out of the way. That's not dominance, that's desperation." Dominic scoffed, but JD pulled him back, shaking his head. Balor smirked. "You want to prove you're more than just talk? How about you and Priest take on us two tonight?" he challenged, pointing to himself and Dominic. Priest turned to Valeria, who didn't hesitate. "I hope you weren't planning on taking it easy tonight," she murmured before turning back to the Judgment Day. "You're on." The main event saw Damian Priest and Rhea Knight standing together for the first time against Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Despite their lack of experience as a team, Priest and Knight functioned as if they had been partners for years. Rhea's technical precision complemented Priest's power, and the chemistry between them was undeniable. As the match reached its climax, Priest took out Balor with a devastating South of Heaven chokeslam, while Rhea locked Dominic in a brutal submission hold. The younger Mysterio had no choice but to tap out, giving Priest and Rhea the victory. As their hands were raised in victory, Priest looked at Rhea and gave a small nod of approval. She smirked back, knowing they had just sent a message. Damian Priest wasn't alone, and with Rhea Knight by his side, he might be even more dangerous than before. The era of Priest and Ripley was over. The reign of Priest and Knight had just begun. I've crafted a dramatic and action-packed story featuring Damian Priest's split from Rhea Ripley and his new alliance with Rhea Knight. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments or additional details.